Hey guys, this is Daj, and we're here today to do a quick retro review on one of my nostalgic games, Hexxagōn. Hexxagōn, if you might ask, is a recreation of the board game ATAX. ATAX was a very popular board game in which you jump over other tiles and consume them, or transform them to do what you want. In order to take over a board. Hexxagōn is a release that was let out by Software Creations in 1993 from Massachusetts. And this was their take on the ATAX game, or this is, in fact, an ATAX clone. And if you want to look it up, you're not going to find Hexxagōn itself on the Wikipedia, but you will find ATAX, and you could look up anything you want with that. But this is just such a nostalgic little game for me, and I really love it, and the sound effects that come back for it just bring back a lot. So the aim here is you just run around and clone your little rubies, right? And a quick way to do this would be to jump. Now, if you jump, you have to be careful, because that could happen, right? And it gets pretty in-depth. There's only X amount of moves, so you could only get so far into it. I don't plan on winning this game, obviously, because I am awful, and I haven't played in, oh god, since 1993, but it's a good time. And basically, by jumping around, you are able to take out as much as possible. As such, there we go. So if we were smart, we would do the jump over here. It's a very cool game. It reminds me somewhat of kind of like the whole Chinese check. Well, you know what? Honestly, it reminds you of ATAX, because that's the exact game it's from. The only difference is the ATAX game wasn't a hexagonal board. And by going around, it's I don't know what to tell you. This is one. It was on discs when I was younger, and you can get it now just as a flash game. And honestly, if you go up to places like India Everyday Games, or play DOS games online, and there's just these whole repositories now of what they would call, this would be classified really as abandonware. And abandonware, if you're not familiar with the term, is basically just any old IP that isn't really, wow, that was an awful move. Awful. My goodness. It's any IP that's expired. There's no more copyright on it. No one really owns it or cares to own it any longer. And this happens more and more nowadays. If you go, there's a few abandonware sites that you go to, and it's just phenomenal. It really is. Like, there's so many now. I see what's going on here. I'm just going to go ahead and take this first. And it's, if you want to play old games like stuff like Crusader, a lot of the DOS games, I mean, as I've stated before, a lot of the DOS games are being revamped by the new Dutch owners of games, like, or IP providers like 3D Realms. And they just let out their 3D Realms anthology. That being said, the original DOS versions of the game are still out there today, and they're still available to, you know, just be enjoyed. And you know what, the flashware that puts up with these games now, I mean, it takes nothing. Like, it took nothing to run them in DOS, and now you could play them within a browser. And I, for one, am thankful for this, and hope that, you know, work locks on computers and stuff don't poison such a beautiful game industry. Yeah, I got you now. There you go. Because it's really just phenomenal. It really is. There's a lot more of these that I plan on doing. They shouldn't be too long. I mean, most of these series I hope to keep to maybe, you know, 5 or 10 minutes, something like that. And by doing this, we can enjoy... Oh, and I lost. There you go. It was a toss-up, though. We had 28-30. That wasn't so bad. And yeah, guys, I mean, you got to check out these sites. If you like the old DOS games, just go to these sites and scroll through. You're going to find so much nostalgia in there, and you're really going to love it. So I would suggest this to anyone. Go on those sites, find the old games that came out for Windows that you found on hard disks and things like that at swap meets or at yard sales, and have a go. It's totally worth it. Hexxagōn right here. If you like logic games or puzzle games, this is one for you. And as always, guys, Thanks for watching. This has been another entry in our retro review, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Until then, cheers.